Welcome to my channel Education by Haneet. So children, today we are going to do the back exercise of Conservation of Plants and Animals chapter. Okay, so let's start. Filling the blanks. A place where animals are protected in their natural habitat is called a sanctuary. B. Species found only in a particular area known as endemic species. Okay. C. Migratory birds fly to faraway places because of dash changes. What kind of changes? Climatic changes. Okay. Now, second question. Differentiate between the following. So, difference between wildlife sanctuary and biosphere reserve are wildlife sanctuary and biosphere reserve. So, what is a wildlife sanctuary? Wildlife sanctuary is an area where only animals are protected and the capturing and killing is strictly prohibited. Okay. And if we'll talk about the example, so you can take example of Lokchaw Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay. Then what is a biosphere reserve? A biosphere reserve is a large protected area for the conservation of wildlife, plant and animal resources. Okay. And the example should be Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve. Okay. The second one, B. You have to find the difference between zoo and wildlife sanctuary. Now, zoo is zoological park, are also referred to as zoo, and this is a place where animals are protected by keeping them in special enclosures and cages for public exhibition. Okay. So, if we'll take the example of zoo, National Zoological Park in Delhi is an example of a zoo. Okay. Then again, wildlife sanctuary. The same I have repeated here. Wildlife sanctuary is an area where only animals are protected and the capturing and killing is strictly prohibited. Okay. And in wildlife sanctuaries also there are many animals like very threatened wild animals such as black buck, wild-eyed buck, elephants, golden cat, pink-headed ducks, gharial, marsh crocodile, python, rhinoceros are protected and preserved in wildlife sanctuaries. Okay. And the example if we'll take is Panchmari Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay. Now let's come to the C part. Difference between endangered and extinct species. So endangered species are the species in danger of extinction due to rapid decline in their number and change in their habitat are called endangered species. Okay. And if we will see the example of endangered species, so Amur leopards and orangutans, they are endangered species. Okay. Then extinct species. Species is called extinct species when the last existing member of the species dies. Okay. Example dinosaur. Okay. Then D1. Differences between flora and fauna. So flora, all the plant species found in a particular habitat are referred to as flora. Okay. All the plant species. Okay. So if we'll talk about the plant species, so sal, teak, mango, jamun, silver ferns, arjun, etc. Okay. These are the flora. Then if we'll talk about fauna, so all the animal species found in a particular habitat are referred to as fauna. So examples you can take are chikankara, blue bull, barking deer, cheetal, leopard, wild dog, wolf, etc. These are the examples of fauna, and these all they will exist at the Panchmari Bioreserve. Okay, Biosphere Reserve, Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. Now the third question. Discuss the effects of deforestation on the following. So the effects of deforestation on wild animals, let's see. So we all know that large scale cutting of trees from a particular area for the construction of industries, agriculture or for other such purposes is termed as deforestation. Plant life forms an integral part of the ecosystem and they form the natural habitat of various animals in an ecosystem. Destroying plant life will ultimately threaten the existence of animals in a particular ecosystem and may lead to their extinction. Okay. Then B. Effects of deforestation on the environment. Now how it will affect our environment? So deforestation decreases the level of oxygen in the atmosphere because of the large scale cutting of trees. The rainfall and fertility of soil also decreases due to deforestation because of soil erosion. As a result, there are increased chances of natural calamities like floods and droughts. Okay. Then C. Effect of deforestation on villages. The soil particles are held together in a place by the roots of the plants, trees and other vegetation. In the event of water flow or a high speed wind over the top layer of soil, the soil particles get removed easily as there are no plants to hold them in place. Okay, so soil erosion are increased by this deforestation activity. So this is the effect on villages. Okay, then effect of deforestation on cities. So the risk of natural calamities like floods and drought in urban areas has increased by deforestation. It will also lead to global warming because of increased carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Global warming is a result of continuous pollution from automobiles and industries. And because of global warming, the water cycle also gets disturbed. Then E, effect of deforestation on our earth. Okay, so deforestation lead to increased chances and occurrence of desertification, droughts and floods. It also leads to an increase in the temperature of the earth causing global warming. Less trees would result in more soil erosion. Then F part, effect of deforestation on the next generation. Our environment is slowly changing due to the activities of deforestation, both directly and indirectly. Soil erosion, global warming, desertification, drought, greenhouse effect, floods, and many other problems are caused only because of deforestation. Ultimately, the next generation will face the consequences of deforestation. Okay, because if many of the things are wasted in our generation, then the next generation will get much less. Okay, and they will face problems. Now, question 6, what will happen if we go on cutting trees? So, if we go on cutting trees continuously, rainfall and fertility of soil will decrease. Hence, there increased chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts. Then, B, the habitat of an animal is disturbed. If the habitat of an animal is disturbed, some of the species will not get appropriate food and shelter, and with the passage of time, they will come under the category of endangered species. C, the top layer of soil is exposed. If the top layer of the soil is exposed, the soil will have less humus and will become less fertile. Gradually, the land will convert into desert, resulting in desertification. Okay. Now, fifth question: why should we conserve biodiversity? So, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity is a variety of plants, animals, and microorganisms generally found in an area. Okay. Both plant and animals have a mutual dependence on each other for their survival. As they are related to one another, the destruction of one will automatically destroy the other. Hence, biodiversity has to be conserved in order to maintain nature's balance. Okay. B. Protected forests are also not completely safe for wild animals. Why? Protected forests are also not completely safe for wild animals because people who live near or adjacent to these forests use resources from forests to fulfill their own requirements. In this process, wild animals are killed and sold for lucrative amounts of money because for their skin, for their hides, etc. Okay. Then see, some tribals depend on the jungle. Why? How? Now we know that tribal people usually they live in a particular area and they usually live near the jungles, right? Near the forests. So the forest provides them food and other resources to these tribal people. It is inevitable for them to depend on forests and their resources for everyday needs. So they have to depend on the forest. Now D part. What are the causes and consequences of deforestation? Now we know that large scale cutting of trees is known as deforestation. So the main cause of deforestation is growing urbanization and industrialization. Because of increased urbanization and industrialization, we need more land and that is why the people are cutting their trees. So deforestation is happening. So need for more land and resources have led to cutting down of forest. Okay. Then the second part of this question, the consequences of deforestation are as follows. It will result in soil erosion, depletion of groundwater, flash floods and global warming. Okay. What is red data book? The red data book is a source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. It is maintained internationally by an organization. India also maintains red data book for plants and animals found in India. Then what do you understand by the term migration? Now, in the movement of an organism or a group of organisms from its natural habitat to another place at a particular time each and every year is known as migration. And we have many migratory words. For example, we can take the example of, for example, if we'll talk about Siberian crane, that is a bird, and it migrates from Siberia to India during winter time. Okay. Then sixth question. In order to meet the ever-increasing demand in factories and for shelter, trees are continually being cut. Is it justified to cut trees for such projects? Discuss and prepare a brief report. So this answer you can do it yourself also, but I have given my answer also. So the answer should be no. It is not justified at all to cut trees to meet the ever-increasing demands of human population. Forests are the habitat of several organisms, including wild animals. So forests provide us with good quality air as they give out oxygen and they absorb the harmful carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. In this process, they prevent the excessive heating of the atmosphere. They prevent soil erosion and natural calamities such as floods and droughts. They also increase the fertility of the soil and help conserve biodiversity. The cutting of trees to meet the demands of growing human population will lead to global warming, soil erosion, greenhouse effects, droughts, floods, and many other problems. The destruction of forests will disturb the balance of nature, hence forests must be conserved. And besides these above listed problems, the effect of large scale deforestation will leave an everlasting mark on the face of human civilization. The balance of nature is disturbed by the destruction of trees. Hence, it is of utmost priority and importance to conserve forests. Okay. So, question 7. How can you contribute to the maintenance of the green belt of your locality? Make list of actions. So we can contribute by we can grow new plants in our locality. You can also add your points, children. So I have written 4 points like we can grow new plants in our locality, water them regularly and take care of them. The existing plants should be properly nourished. Then encouraging awareness among the people in the locality about the importance of growing trees. Okay. Now, eighth question. Explain how deforestation leads to reduced rainfall. Removal of trees and plant life from a particular area for the construction of industries, agriculture, and other purposes is termed as deforestation. Photosynthesis and plant life take place through the absorption of carbon dioxide from the Earth's atmosphere. When plant life is destroyed, the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere will increase drastically, leading to the trap of heat radiation which causes global warming. This rise in temperature will affect the water cycle also, right? The disturbance in the water cycle will lead to chain of events and in the end the rainfall pattern changes and results in droughts. Okay. Now ninth question if we'll see, find out about national parks in your state. Identify and show their location on the outline map of India. So children, this I have not done. This is do it yourself question because you are living in a particular state. You can search the national park in your state and then you can mark them on the map. Okay. Question 10. Why should the paper be saved? Prepare a list of ways by which you can save paper. So, if 1 ton of clean white paper is to be produced, 17 full grown trees are cut down. Trees play a major role in maintaining a balance in nature. So, it is essential to save paper in order to protect the trees and avoid the impact of the loss of trees on the living organisms that depend on these trees. Okay. So, we can save paper by collection and recycling of used paper, then using both sides of the paper for writing, spreading awareness about the importance of paper among school children and youth, then intelligent and proper use of paper. Okay. Now question 11. Now children, this is the puzzle. So I have written the answers here of the puzzle and you have to write these answers as it is, okay, on the puzzle. I have not given this picture or the image of that puzzle over here. So you have to write the exact answers, okay. So down. First question, species on the verge of extinction. You have to write the answer as endangered. Second question, a book carrying information about endangered species. Red data book. Okay, then fifth one, consequences of deforestation, deserts. Okay, then across. First one, species which have vanished, extinct. Okay, species found only a particular habitat, endemic. Fourth, variety of plants, animals and microorganisms found in an area, biodiversity. Okay, please write the answers as it is and here we come to the end of this exercise. Thank you.